My name is Joy Harrington. I am your host. Last episode, I talked about the masculine growing with challenge and adversity, and I encouraged women to stop protecting their men from challenges and from hard things because that's how the masculine grows. So today, we are going to talk about the feminine and how the feminine grows by choosing to lean in and remain soft and vulnerable and open when all she wants to do is close. So the feminine is very much like a flower. We open and we're beautiful. And when we are in this open state, we are soft and we are approachable and we're vulnerable and we are friendly. And what we want to do when things get hard is close. We want to just shut down. We want to snap. We feel like it's too hard and we don't want to risk getting hurt. We don't want to put ourselves out there again. We think people are going to treat us a certain way and we close. But that's not how we grow. The feminine actually grows by choosing to lean in and stay open when it's hard, when all she wants to do is protect herself, when all she wants to do is run away, when all she wants to do is take control. So the feminine actually grows by leaning in and staying open and staying soft, even when it's hard. And this actually came about because I was talking on Instagram the other day about romanticizing motherhood and wanting to do what we can to add in what makes motherhood fun, or how we can make our life fun, right? How we can add in those extra special touches so that we're not just surviving motherhood, but we're actually making it enjoyable. Like I just bought a bunch of candles a couple of months ago to have at dinner because I was like, why are we not having candles at dinner and making it like romantic and fun and special? And I got some different dresses and I'm like, why am I not actually wearing dresses instead of athletic wear every day and feeling special or feeling nice about myself? I can do the menial tasks of motherhood and add in candles or add in music or add in a dress or add in things that actually romanticize it, right? That make it more like a movie because it's your life and you get to decide how you want to live it. And when I was saying that on Instagram, someone responded and said, hey, that's great. But what about when you have that candlelight dinner and someone spills or someone knocks over the candle or someone you're wearing the dress and someone spills on your dress and blah, 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 blah. Like that's real too. That's real motherhood. And while that is real, for sure, that happens. My response back is, yeah. And when those things happen, what is your response? Because when those things happen, we grow by choosing to lean in and keep going anyways. We grow not by being like, well, see, real life happens, so why even try? Or I'm going to shut down, or that's it. I guess I shouldn't do these kinds of things. That's not how we grow. We grow when the hard things happen and we choose to keep going. That's where character is formed. That's where grit is formed. That's where perseverance is formed. And guess what? That's when we stay not only open and soft and approachable, but that's where we get to find a new level of ourselves. That's where we get to find a new version of ourselves. That's where we get to become who we want to be because we want to be the patient mother. We want to be the mother that is soft and that her kids aren't afraid of her responses. We want to be the wife where if the husband messes up, we're not just giving him the cold shoulder and not speaking for days. Every time Peter and I had a fight when we were early married and I would go like, oh, and like give him the cold shoulder and be like, I can't believe you did that. I was the one that was upset that we weren't speaking and that like we were having this hard time. I didn't actually want to be in that place. I wanted to be close. I wanted us to be having fun. I wanted us to be enjoying each other. And yet I was the one choosing to give the cold shoulder and create this situation for myself in the first place. So we get to remind ourselves when those hard things happen and we want to shut down of what we actually truly want. Because in the moment, what we think we want is to be angry and to shut down and to make other people feel bad that they ruined it for us or that they did this or they inconvenienced us, or we want to basically stand on our rights and be like, well, I did this for you and you didn't do that for me and blah, 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 blah. And guess what? You can stand on your rights. But sometimes you can be right or you can be happy. And I always have to remind myself in those moments, Joy, what you actually want is loving relationships. What you actually want is children who aren't afraid of you. What you actually want is a husband who feels like you are a safe place, like you are an oasis, like you are a sanctuary. What you actually want is to be a woman who, when the hard things happen, you laugh and you respond well, and your kids grow up and say, Mom was awesome. Mom never complained. Mom always had fun with us. Like, mom made even the challenges not hard, right? That's what you actually want. And I have to actually remind myself of this so that I will stay open, because guess what? My natural tendency is to be like, yeah, right. What about me? And I'm not saying that there's not a time for things for you. We definitely have to take care of ourselves, and we definitely need to prioritize ourselves and our well-being. And there's a fine balance of taking care of yourself and upholding your boundaries, which you absolutely need, and staying soft and open and vulnerable while doing that. And I believe the both can exist together. It's not one or the other, it's both and. And women have become so hard. Women have become so quick to close, so quick to, pay back, so quick to be like, that's it, you're out. So quick to say, what about me? Or whatever. We've become so hard because it's easier. It's just straight up easier. It's easier to become hard. It's easier to become resentful. It's easier to become bitter. It's easier to be like, everyone else is doing this to me and I can't, help it, or they're treating me wrong, instead of looking at ourselves and saying, what am I doing to contribute to this? How am I closing down? How am I actually opening up and sharing what I really want, or asking for what I really need? How am I choosing to go against what I feel, which is to be angry, to lash out, whatever, and instead choosing to choose a different response? Because maybe people are responding to me and how I am and who I am, right? It takes a lot of strength and radical courage and radical responsibility to look at yourself. And it really takes a lot of strength to lean in when all you want to do is lean out. But I am telling you that is where the intimacy is that you long for. When it comes to your marriage, your intimate relationship, you actually women long to be seen fully, to be seen in their heart, right? They want a man who, when they're with him, they feel like he can see straight into their soul, right? You feel like you want to be with someone like that. Well, guess what? Half of that is allowing yourself to be seen by taking down the walls, by removing the hardness, by choosing to stay open, by choosing to stay soft, by choosing to let them actually see the real you instead of lashing out in our emotion. The level of intimacy that you desire is behind, or I should say it's on the other side of staying open, staying soft, staying vulnerable, letting the hard things happen, and choosing to lean in. And when you choose to lean in, you are choosing to believe that what you truly want is greater than what your emotions feel in that moment. Because it is. What your emotions feel in that moment is fickle. What your emotions feel in that moment is not what you truly want. It's not reflective of what you truly want. So remind yourself of what you truly want rather than letting yourself ride the waves of fickle emotions. Because our emotions, our responses to things are usually just habit. They are a learned response. They are a learned pattern. And we can change those. We don't have to let them own us. We don't have to always respond to them. So where are you closing down? Where are you hardening instead of staying soft and open? And trust me, 2022 was the biggest test of my life in this regard. Losing a child, losing a baby, going through something that feels so unfair, to stay soft and open and trusting, it was like the biggest test of my life. And I have to say, I am most proud of myself for that. I am most proud of the fact that I went through that and I have stayed soft, because guess what? I've been the woman that went through something hard and I turned hard. I went through something hard in our marriage and I built walls. I was like, that's it. I need to protect myself. So I'm going to take over in this and I'm going to take over in that. And I'm going to control all of this. And I'm not going to let you control it. And I'm not going to let you in past this far. And I became a hardened person, and it pushed people away that I love the most. It pushed my kids away. It pushed my husband away. It pushes away people you love the most. And this year, I've been so proud that I've stayed soft. And that is our challenge as the feminine. It's to stay soft when the hard happens, because that is where we become the wives we want to be, the mothers we want to be, the women we want to be, by staying soft. And that looks like leaning in. Where do you want to lean out? And what would leaning in look like in a soft way? Not in a forceful way, in a soft way. All right, that's it for today. Let me know your thoughts on Instagram. You can tag me, share this episode. Tell me what your takeaway is. I hope that's helpful for you. And I will see you back on the show next week. Sending you so much love today.